Hey, it's Arash, host of Burner Podcast, owner of Justified Hype, photographer based in Southern California, sharing my thought of the day today. I think I'm going to come up with like a better name of what I'm calling these little daily videos. Oh, yeah. Uh, I had an interesting word combination come to mind today as I was exploring some feelings that I was having about where I am in regards to my projects and things that I'm working on. And I have historically, and I've been told this by like multiple energy workers, and this is perhaps it's been pretty aligned with like how I've seen myself. So and when people reinforce the story that you tell about yourself, I think that we're more likely to remember those things. So I've had multiple different intuitives and energy workers say the same thing to me, which is that they felt like my solar plexus chakra was my dominant one, and I know very little about most of this, but my understanding is that that's the chakra that's connected to doing and like a sense of purpose. And my sense of purpose has historically been really the thing that's given me the most joy and the most sense of meaning. When I was 19 or 20, when I was experiencing most of my life, really until like my early 20s, was some level of depression and anxiety. And it was just normal for me. Like I didn't know that there was another way to be until I started meditating. But at that time, I was experiencing a lot of depression and felt really not lined up with my social circles and friendships. And I felt kind of alone. I didn't know what I was doing. And my cousin, who's older than me, he's been a mentor to me. He gave me this piece of advice that always stuck with me. He said, whenever you have doubts about where your life is going and what your needs are and what's happening, focus on your career, on your sense of purpose, and the rest of it inadvertently falls into place. And that's where I first heard the word inadvertently, by the way. He's like relationships, girlfriends, but all this stuff just figures itself out. And that's been a guiding principle for me as I came out of depression and found myself and made some cool stuff happen in my life. And I remember, like, again, that thing that I was referencing about how, like, we remember the things that reinforce the story that we tell about ourselves. I remember I was with someone that I was dating in Ramona, and she said to me that somebody had said to her, I was walking across, like, I don't know, backyard pool area or something, and this person said, like, wow, that guy walks with a lot of purpose. And she said, yeah, that's Rush, lots of purpose. So I'm sharing all this to express that it was purpose that brought me out of whatever the first third of my life was that I look back on and don't remember very fondly. So my sense of purpose, which is sort of tied to some level of achievement, has really been my guiding force. And I don't really know if I've really honestly achieved much. I'm 39 and I probably like should own more crap, but I don't. But I've discovered happiness and joy through that sense of purpose. And this past 2 or 3 years, a chunk of it has to do with, of course, like lockdown, because of that pandemic thing. I had multiple things that I was working on come to a bit of a standstill. And then it also during this period, there was emotional stuff that I was navigating, and I am continuing to. And a lot of this is like really kind of made it so that I had to take my foot off of the gas for a while. And I'm kind of recalibrating certain things. And now things are starting to kind of like come back into place. But I was talking to a friend earlier today, and I was sharing with her how not great I feel about my achievements. And her reaction was like, it was laughter. It was like projectile laughter. You know, the kind of laughter that's like, you're like, like, what? Like, what? Are you an insane person? Like, and we had a really lovely long conversation. She's definitely someone that I trust with everything. And in that conversation, she was kind of expressing to me how that's very much something that I'm seeing in my own ego. And in the past couple of days, I've had a few different conversations that have led back to the same thing, this sense of self-doubt or insecurity or all the stuff that I'm feeling, and stories that I'm telling myself. And the phrase that came to my mind was achievement dysphoria. You know, if we have like body dysmorphia, it's not dysphoria, dysmorphia, achievement dysmorphia. We have like body dysmorphia. We have this sense of like, no matter what we do, we're not attractive enough, we're not thin enough. Achievement dysmorphia can be a thing, if that combination makes sense. I always feel like I have not done enough. But most of my people in my circles, I'm waving my hand, you can't see it, laugh, like they scoff at that when I say it. And that does mess with my perceptions a little bit. It is that artist imposter syndrome maybe that's kicking in. This sense of like, I hear you, I know you love me, I trust your opinion, but shouldn't I have more numbers to show for it? Shouldn't I own the house I live in? Not that I want to own a house. I have no desire to own a house, but it's a complex thing. But it just got me exploring, and just me sharing this story with you right now has gotten me thinking about how much my sense of happiness and joy for the past decade has been connected to that achievement thing, my solar plexus chakra. Achievement. And how, because I'm not in that space and I had to take some time off for, again, partly pandemic, mental health purposes. And I've like shared, like I'm envious of those who react to life's crushing blows by stepping up to productivity. I am not one of those people. I need to regroup. I need to take a step back. I need to figure out where I'm going. I need to think and be alone for a while and like really introvert. And then when I start to move forward again, I tend to do it in silence. I have a few different cakes in the oven right now, but I'm not like being super public about them because I'm allowing the pieces to come together. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Like they say, if you're trying to lose weight, one of the ways to do it is to be very public about it, right? So that like you can use that public influence or shame. Shame's not the word. That invisible peer pressure to motivate. So I don't know if I'm doing it right. When I'm ready to announce it, I'll announce it. But anyway, point being, I've been asking myself, do I have achievement dysmorphia? Am I looking at my life and where I've been and how much I've built, and I'm certainly seeing it very differently than people around me do. Just even sharing this with you right now is like reminding me of the feedback that I would give my friends when they felt like they haven't done enough. Like, and I don't know about enough. Like an example that comes up in my mind right now is my friend Navjeet. He's the producer of Alkaline Podcast, which is my podcast sister show. He is my favorite DJ on the planet. I've told him multiple times, I wish I was as good at anything as he is at DJing. And he gets in his head and says, oh, well, these are just my friends. They're being nice to me. And I've explained back to him the same thing. I'm like, do you really think like your friends have such low integrity that we're all just like gaslighting you and telling you that you're really good? And he logically understands that argument, but there's still this deeper belief thing in his system that still doesn't quite believe that he is as good as he actually is. And so that's what I'm exploring right now. I'm wondering, is my life amounted to as much as I've wanted it to? Is this just a midlife crisis? I'm 39, is this normal? Do I have achievement dysmorphia? Does it go away when I do X, Y, or Z? Am I just going through a specific chapter? I don't know. These are the things that are going through my mind. Today I had a really great run in Santa Monica, beautiful sunset, and explored this particular topic and reminded myself over and over that I have people in my life who are brilliant and intelligent and whose opinions I trust emphatically. And they're telling me that I'm pretty dope, so I should listen to them, because numbers on a screen don't mean as much as the feedback and opinions of people whom I legitimately respect and admire. All right, that's all for now. Ciao.